Stop me, 'cause I'm having a good time, having a good time.
Hello everyone. So I haven't updated in a couple of days. I thought I would wait because I had kind of had a lot going on, and there's a lot of stuff to update you on. So instead of doing one video every single day, I decided to wait. My true intention was to actually film this last night, but I crashed out, like hardcore. Oh, that's my messy bed. Let's not look there. Crashed out hardcore. So here's Mookie. She has to be in attendance for my videoing. So I had lifeguard class Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 8 to 5. Yeah, they were long days, alright. We got an hour off for lunch. Well, 45-50 minutes. Basically, I got recertified. They work with this company called Ellis & Associates, and it's kind of cool what they do. This company solely trains lifeguards. The guy who invented this company, I guess, or founded it or whatever, Jeff Ellis, decided that drowning is 100% preventable. And he was going to change the way being a lifeguard was viewed and the job duties of the lifeguard. So he went through some statistics and analyzed some stuff. And he realized that lifeguards weren't really being held accountable, and there were some problems with the ways that they were saving people. So he came up with this company to fill or like change those two things, because what was happening was that there were too many lifeguards going in to save people and drowning themselves, and then they were also not being held accountable. They would get certified, but you know, a couple of years later, what, they get recertified? Who was coming in to check and make sure they're doing their job? Well, nobody is. So they decided to change that. And so they do some things differently from the Red Cross, and I can say, as a Red Cross certified guard, nothing wrong with it. Nothing. Absolutely love my Red Cross certifications, no problems. However, I do like the way Ellis & Company, or Ellis & Associates, do things differently. For example, after I got licensed, not certified, licensed, meaning they can revoke said license if I don't hold up my side of the terms and agreements that I signed whenever I finished the class yesterday. They can revoke that license. But basically what I said was that I would be okay with being audited at any time. So basically, these people come in to the Disney parks, and they have normal city pools, parks, whatever. But if you use them, they come in and audit your pools, your lifeguards. And they have these things called VATs, where it's a weighted silhouette of a child or a person, and they will come in and spread it out on the bottom of the pool, and you have 10 seconds. It's called the 10-20 standard. You have 10 seconds to recognize and respond it, recognize and, you know, blow your whistle, whatever, and 20 seconds to get to that silhouette and pull it out of the water. And you treat it just like you would a normal, like, drowning victim. But according to their class, you should be scanning your whole area every 10 seconds. 10 seconds or less. And that way you're being held accountable for being attentive and watching your water and not sleeping or daydreaming or whatever. So there's VATs. They also come in and do just visual audits where they'll record you and watch you for 10 or 15 minutes and make sure that you're doing the right thing. They also have something called the 5-minute rule, which is actually cool, not just for lifeguards, but for anybody who has like a monotonous job. I'm going to use it when I'm teaching for sure. Not that I'll ever sit down when I'm teaching. But this theory is that if you move every 5 minutes or so. If you know, go from sitting to standing, or from standing to strolling, or from strolling to standing, you know, whatever. You're always constantly keeping the blood moving, and you're staying attentive, and you're watching the water, and you're staying focused because you're changing perspective. So if you're using the 5-minute rule and you're attentive, then you should be able to get there. So they come in to see, make sure you're doing these sorts of things. You're not drumming away on your lifeguard buoy, or picking your nose, or chilling out, or, you know, whatever. And then they have real live rescues where they will come in themselves, or family members, or whatever, and they will put you in an emergency situation, and you have to respond. You know, they have backup lifeguards who come in behind, and managers holding signs that say lifeguard test, you know, don't worry. But you got to do everything from getting the person out of the water, turning the AED on, calling 911 if necessary, all of that. Got to do all of it until whoever it is that's auditing you tells you that EMS arrived, or you can stop, or whatever. So that's kind of crazy. I was kind of not okay with that whenever they first told us, but now I'm okay with it. It makes me feel better because I know I'm being held accountable. So that's cool. But it was some hard work. It was 3 days full of new CPR. Well, not new CPR. CPR is basically the same. But new processes. I learned how to administer oxygen, which is kind of cool. But just knew everything, basically. So I had to relearn that and then test on it on Sunday. They do a written test. Individual scenarios with CPRs using the dummies, and then you do a group scenario in the water where you have to react and save people. So, whatever. They put me on stand, if you will, during our class. The first day we were in the pool doing, like, learning how to do different types of saves and rescues, and they put me on stand. And the instructors told me that anything little, any of that stuff, I would have to respond to. They said the lifeguard on duty was strictly for, like, 911 emergencies. Anything else that needed attention was up to me. So I did that, and they dropped a vat on me, and I responded in 5 seconds and got it off the bottom of the pool in 7. Woo! I was the first one that went. I was impressed with myself. And they were too. I think that, you know, they both acknowledged that I had done a really good job and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, that was nice. Made me feel good. Also made me feel more prepared. Like, I'm not so worried about the audits because I've already done all that once. So, that was pretty sweet. I've made more friends. I'm pretty close with 2 people named. One's JT and the other is Kaylin. JT is from Alabama. Kaylin is from Wisconsin. She says it with an accent. It's really funny. My roommate, Colleen from Chicago. I'm picking up all these different regional accents. It's tripping me out. But we're close. The Kaylin, JT, and I will be working at Blizzard Beach together, so that's cool. We kind of became a little family unit, if you will. So I've been able to branch out and make some friends. I also met some people, some of the international people, like some of the people from the Netherlands are pretty freaking sweet. And from Brussels. They have legit accents. And I was talking to this one girl the other day. I think she's from Brussels. I'm not sure. Anyway, I was talking to her and she was asking, you know, what is your, whenever you think of Europe, what do you think of? And I was like, oh, beautiful scenery, beautiful people, beautiful accents, blah, 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 blah. And I said, why, you know, when you think of the U.S., what do you think of? And she said, Euro trip. We have failed as a country, people. If you've seen Eurotrip, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen Eurotrip, read a synopsis of the movie. You'll understand why I facepalmed. So then, me being me, I asked her what her perception was of Texas. Guess what? She said, cowboys. Of course she did. I laughed really hard. She really wants to go to Texas, though. She said she wants to go to Texas to ride horses. Because apparently we only have horses in Texas. I was unaware. But anyway, it was just really funny. It's been really nice and awesome to get to know cool people like that and different people that I probably wouldn't have gotten to meet even if I was in Austin. So I've been having a good time. Yesterday was extremely stressful. But it's because I, like, completely blanked in the middle of my infant CPR. Oh, I got it down. I repassed, and then I redid it again whenever we had our group scenario. But I completely blanked whenever it came to infant CPR. Well, it wasn't even infant CPR. It was the process that you go through after, like, when an infant is choking. I got the back blows. I got the chest thrusts, and back blows, chest thrusts. They said the baby goes unconscious. So I did 30 chest compressions, and I froze. I was super, like, panicked and stressed, and I was putting all this pressure on myself, and I couldn't remember. So my instructor was like, that was testing me, just told me to breathe. And I knew you didn't give the kid mouth to mouth, because if whatever they were choking would just be pushed back down their throat farther. So I panicked. And then once I said that, once I verbalized that out loud, I realized you got to check the mouth to see if you just pushed any of the stuff out. So then I continued on after that. But after you check the mouth and pinky sweep whatever it is that's in the infant's mouth out, if you have managed to do the chest compressions and push it out, you're supposed to check the pulse to make sure the baby hasn't gone unconscious, or like the baby doesn't need CPR. And so I forgot to check the pulse in my panic of forgetting to check the mouth, so I had to retest. But I passed, and like I said, whenever they did the group scenario, I did the same. We pulled a person with a spinal injury out, and then at the same time a person came up to me and made me do a choking infant scenario, which was fine. I passed test, did everything perfect. I guess I was so nervous I blanked. I don't know. I felt really stupid, especially since I've been certified before, twice. No worries. Passed. So yeah. Anyway, that was all the last couple days. Today is my day off, which is really nice because I was exhausted from lifeguard training. Like, woo, worn out. Because the morning would be full of, like, first aid, CPR, sitting down stuff. We would practice on each other, but it wouldn't in the water. Afternoon, we would spend at least 4 hours in the water. Exhausting. Especially whenever you're, like, putting buoys up under bodies and holding on to people and putting them on backboards and pulling them out the pool and all sorts of craziness. I already got tan lines. Look at this. Tan lines. They're worse on my back, but I already got tan lines. Go freaking figure. So I laid out a little bit this afternoon. It's gotten kind of cloudy, so I came inside to watch my shows, catch up on my shows, because we don't have TV hooked up to cable yet, and to video this. I'm the only one home right now. I have 5 roommates, and everyone's at work but me. Go figure. I have no idea how that happened, but whatever. Actually, my roommate, Kimberly, should be home in about half hour or so. Well, she gets off in half hour, so she'll be home in about an hour, probably. Between the buses and all that. Goodness, excuse me. So anyway, I had class this morning, 8:30. My first day of class. And I am taking a class called Experiential Learning, which is freaking awesome. Oh my goodness. I have the hiccups. Excuse me. My teacher's kind of crazy. Kind of out there. But it kind of makes me want to become a teacher for Disney classes. Because I could do college-age kids. I could do either end of the spectrum. I could do college kids, or I could do little kids. Middle, probably not early high school either. I would probably have to be a junior or senior class teacher if I was going to do that. But I don't even know if I could do high school. I mean, I know I could do it, but it's just not my thing. Not something I want to do, personally, at this point in time in my life. But I would love to come back and be a teacher for Disney and teach college classes to college kids and still get to work for Disney and live in Florida and all that jazz. That'd be great. So I might look into how that could happen. Anyway, her name is Debbie Immel, but we call her Debbie. She's awesome. Oh my goodness. I love her. Part of our assignment is to read this book right here. Michael J. Fox. Awesome. Started reading it this afternoon. Hilarious. Super cool. So we're supposed to read this book, and then he talks about a couple of things that are like game changers for him, for his life. So we're supposed to write a paper that like mimics that, I guess. And this video is like uber long, so sorry for all that. But anyway, so teacher, awesome, cool. I'm gonna love her class. Yay. And now, since this video is officially like 15 freaking minutes long, which I apologize for, oh my goodness, I'm gonna go. But it's been 4 days that I've been trying to update you on. 4. So, I'll wrap it up rather quickly. I am starting my on-the-job training Wednesday. I am doing my orientation tomorrow, which means I get to go get my outfit and walk around Blizzard Beach, and I'm excited about life. Yay, I finally get to see where I get to work. Yeah, that's about it. I'm excited because I'm going to be working at the water parks, which means I'm going to get to work normal hours versus people who work at the resorts and their pools close at like 10:30 to midnight. I'm actually going to get off. I mean, I get off at 5 right now, but I'll be able to get off like probably the latest like 8 or 9, I would say, in the summertime. Maybe a little bit later. I don't know yet. I haven't really looked at summer hours, but as of right now, I get off at a normal time, which is pretty freaking awesome. My roommate Lauren came in at 2 yesterday, 2 a.m. She got off at 12:30, and she had to wait for the bus at 1, and it took like a whole nother hour. Because at this point, the buses are running to like various different places, not necessarily just on their bus route, to pick up people who close. And she's not going to be home until 2 again tonight. So that sucks. That's about it. I will let you know how orientation goes tomorrow. I hope everyone had an awesome weekend. Yay, Super Bowl. I didn't even see who won. I just watched the commercials on YouTube. I mean, I know the Giants won because Facebook, like, blew up. But anyway, that's about it. I hope everybody had a good weekend. And I love and miss all of you back home a lot. And it's crazy to believe I've only been here for a week. But I love you all. Hook 'em horns. And I will, I guess, see you all tomorrow. Bye.